Hey guys, what's going on? Greenville Gear. Appreciate you tuning in and watching this SGC order preview. And then what I will do, of course, on the back end of the video is I will do the reveal of the grades. But let me tell you a little bit about what I'm sending in. I'm sending in 10 tobacco cards, you know, from 1908 to 1911, I guess, 1910 perhaps technically. And so it's a mix of vintage pre-war tobacco soccer cards. And so there's a few of those, and I'll show those in just a minute. And then also some classic T206 cards, baseball cards. And so both of these things are things and parts that I collect of my PC. And so I want to show you what is about to go out. So the first 6 cards are, and it's 10 cards total, are from the 1908 Ogdens set. And so this is a cigarette card made in the UK. And there's a 1906 set. These cards are all from the 1908 set. And here is H. Smith. You can see the back, Ogdens Famous Footballers. Issued, of course, by Ogdens, the Imperial Tobacco Company, both in Great Britain and Ireland. So that's the first one. Also from that set here is A. Common. For those of us as collectors, I always see this name and think of this as a common card. Terrible joke in my brain, but it is a common card. And so that is a cool card too. What's neat about the 1908 set versus the 1906 set of Ogdens, if you're curious about it, is the 1906 set was strictly the team, but in 1908 they actually started putting the player name on the card. For example here, E.G.D. Wright, who played for Hull. And so here's card number 49. I think there's 50 cards in this set. And so I've been kind of slowly working on it. It's been a lot of fun to pick these up. Here's another one. So I actually have 2 E.G.D. Wright. So it'll be interesting to see. The first one has some staining. The other one has some just wear. You know, I won't get into a prediction for these cards as raw card grading predictions. You know, hopefully 2s, 3s, and anything beyond that. I think some of these are a little crisper than that, and I'll be pleasantly surprised. Here's H. Bromage from Leeds. He was a goalkeeper, and this is card number 45. I actually have 2 of this one. And I kind of like doing 2s. I have a few duplicates within the Ogden set, and if you're interested, I have some old videos of Ogden's submissions and reviews. And basically what I'll do is I'll get both of those graded, obviously, and both of the Wrights. And I will probably keep one and I'll sell the other one, and that'll help me buy more vintage pre-war tobacco cards. So those are the 6 Ogdens cards from 1908, Famous Footballers. Those will be interesting to see how they come back and what grade they get. And the next cards are 4 T206 cards. All of them, as you just saw by me holding it out, are actually reholders. And that's because I really like to have my T206 cards in the current modern flip. To give you an example, I like this here. And I just like collection consistency. There's my Rube Marquard Portrait Hall of Famer. And so the old flips sometimes are the green, and they just aren't as slick. And so I just like my consistency in my collection and like them to be the same. So this is Hunky Shaw from Providence. This is a card I want to talk more about in a separate video for sure. Really helps me towards my Providence set in the T206 set. There's only 8 cards, and I'm very, very close to completing that, so I will probably do a separate video. But here's the Hunky Shaw, and this is in an SGC 4. So we'll get this one reholdered, and it'll look great. Another one, and actually you can just see on the back of this one, it's got, I don't know if that'll pick it up, but it's got some real wear and rubs and those kinds of things. So it just needs plastic new before I put it in a perfect fit and so on. But here's Rube Dussault from Baltimore, also in an SGC 4, Piedmont back. Not great centering on the back, but this one will look great. And I have found, just as a collector, and I'll just kind of give you this tip, I feel like I get better deals sometimes on the older flips. Be interested to know in the comments if that's been your experience. Do you think people charge a premium for the newer flips? I'm not sure. But sometimes I can get a deal on an older one. Here's John Butler from Rochester. This was an upgraded card. Go back and check out my video for the upgrade project. But I had this card, I think, in a 2.5. And to quote Marie Kondo, of course, didn't spark joy. And then I grabbed this one in a 4.5. It's a much better example of the card than the one I had. And so this was a fun upgrade. But, of course, when I upgraded it, part of the reason I could upgrade it at a 4.5 is I think it might have been a little cheaper because it was in the old flip. And then the last card, really love this portrait. This is Knapp Rucker from Brooklyn. What a great photo, or depiction anyway. Not necessarily a photo, but anyway, great artwork here. And this is Knapp Rucker in a Piedmont 150. And just really like that one. Great eye appeal on this card, and that's in an SGC 4 as well. So a string of 4s and one 4.5, all of those will be reholdered, and they'll come back looking really good. And you can see there are various iterations of the old holders for SGC, and those will look good. So in total, we're looking at 4 reholders, 6 new grading for the old soccer tobacco cards. And what I will do is I will edit this together. This is the preview, and then all in one place now you can watch through the magic of YouTube and so on, the reveal in just 1 second. So really appreciate you watching the preview and listening to my rationale and talking through what I'm doing with this order. Stick around in 1 second and I'll come back with the review. All right, guys, we're back, and the order is back. There it is. I've opened it off camera, and I did look at the grades because I just couldn't help myself on the app, which is a great app. The SGC app is pretty slick, and they send you photos of the cards that are graded. And the turnaround time for SGC, I think, was a little slower than normal. It might have taken 3 weeks instead of 2 weeks, but still pretty great. I think they had a couple promotions going, and that might have slowed down their overall operation. But here's the 10 cards back, and I'll pull them out, and I'll just set them down this way. And forgive me because I'll be out of order on the way that I put them in the first half of the video. So I don't know what's going to be the reholders or what the order is and so on, but we'll just get into it. This is the first card. This looks like one of the raw grading cards, A common. So this is from the Ogdens football set. And there he is in the slab. This is from the 1908 Ogdens famous footballers set. And SGC decided that this one was a SGC 4. So that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. I was kind of hoping for the grades to be in a 4 or something like that. So there's the first one. Here's the next card. This is the EGD Right, and I believe I have 2 of these to show you that have come back. So here's the first one. And I thought one was a little better than the other. So we're still in this 1908 Ogden set. And there's EGD Right, and SGC decided that this one is a 4 as well. Very good. Excellent. So that's good. Happy with that. And my plan on these where I had duplicates like the Right here. And here's the second Right, as you can see it. Footballer for Hull. Again, this is a 50-card set. And so this is the second one that I had sent in. And I thought one was slightly better than the other. Here's the second, and SGC disagreed. They thought they were both exactly 4s. So I'm not sure. There's the 2 4s side by side so you can see them. But we'll trust their professional opinion. So what I will do is I'll look at both of these. I kind of like the centering a little bit more on the one on the right. But I'll keep one, and I'll likely sell the other one to help pay for the order. Up next is H. Bromage, or Bromage. And and I think he was a player for Leeds, if I'm not mistaken. Here's the first one. Kind of interesting eyes there. I like the old collared shirt. SGC had this one as an SGC 5. Excellent. So that's nice. I think that's going to be probably one of the higher grades in the order. Again, the centering I don't love, left to right. I don't think this is much better than one of the 4s that we just saw, but again, we don't need to get into the business of nitpicking the grades too much, but there's the SGC 5 on the first Bromage, we'll call him. This is card 45 out of 50 in the set. And here's the second one. Looks pretty good too. And SGC graded this one as a 4.5. So both of those did a little bit better than the EGD right. Both of those were 4s, and these are a 4.5 and a 5. So that's kind of fun. And the last one here, and this was a single one, H. Smith. This will go right in the personal collection. There he is, also from the 1908 Ogden set. And SGC scored that a 4. Happy with that. So I'll put this one in the common, and then I'll decide which of the Bromage and the rights will go into the PC. So I'll add 4 to my PC, and I'll have a couple more to sell off for somebody else's collection. I think the next 4 cards are the reholders. Here's a sweet cap back. We're getting into the T206 cards, which is really fun. I had picked up a few T206 cards, as you saw from the preview, in older holders and flips, and I just like some consistency in my collection, and sometimes I'm able to get a little bit more value on pickups if they come in an older flip. I don't know that that's always true. But here's John Butler. This was part of the upgrade project. Please go back and watch my upgrade project video from a few videos ago. I took 3 or 4 T206 cards, sold the lower grade cards, and then just went on a quest to upgrade them. And so here's the Butler. And so now that part of the upgrade is complete because Butler is back, and it's in a 4.5. And I think originally I had a Butler in a 3. And again, it's not always about the grade, it's about the card, but I made sure that all of these were clear and better examples of the upgrade project. So again, I'll encourage you to go back and check out that video. That was a fun project to do. I think I did 4 cards, and it took me a couple months, and it was just a really fun project. Here's the next one. This is a Piedmont 350 back. This is Rube Dussault from Baltimore. This was that reholder that you saw, and it's back now in a very nice, clean, and new SGC 4. Which, if you know anything about my T206 collection, my threshold, again, assuming the cards are presenting well and so on, is I really like commons to be in an SGC 4 or better. And so the upgrade project was part of that, although this was just a new pickup in a 4 that I got. This wasn't part of the upgrade project. 2 more cards to show you. Here's a Piedmont 350 again. Hunky Shaw, part of my Providence Grays run. I'll do a separate video on my team set for that. This guy is just really interesting. Had 1 major league at bat. I'll do maybe a separate video because I'm just kind of fascinated with him and this card. But here it is in an SGC 4. This was one of those cases where I got the card in an auction, and I don't do auctions a lot. I usually tend to do buy it nows with offers and so on, but this one really paid off because I got this in a 4, and I got it, I think, lower than if I would have tried to pursue it in a buy it now. So that was a nice auction win. Very happy with that, and nice and happy to have it in the new flip. And last but not least, and you know that because it's also in the Mylar sleeve, as SGC does that, right? The first card and the last card to kind of protect it. Here's Piedmont 150, and it's just one of the more beautiful portraits I think that I have. This is the Knapp Rucker from Brooklyn. This was also in a very old SGC green flip, I think, and now Rucker is back. with me, and will go into my collection as an SGC4, and I'm just delighted to have this one as part of my cards, my T206 cards, which I think number somewhere in the 70s at this point. I need to do a master kind of showcase or something like that. But anyway, that's the reveal. Thanks for watching the first half. Thanks for watching the second half. If you like T206 cards and vintage cards and so on, please consider dropping this a like and subscribe. Let me know which was your favorite or something you were surprised by of this reveal of these 10 cards that came back. But this was a lot of fun. Always appreciate you watching and wishing you all the best. Take care. Bye.